and welcome to the Pig and Whistle Tales from Azeroth. As always, here at the Pig and Whistle Inn in Stormwind, I go for a variety of subjects with regards to World of Warcraft and many other subjects. So grab a bottle or a pint, sit back and enjoy this midweek episode. We're going to be going over the Is It Worth Playing? And we kind of have gone through this one before, but since its release, there's obviously a lot more info about it and stuff like that. And that is Diablo 4. I kind of went over Diablo 3 and 4, and this was just after the first beta for Diablo 4, so all you could get to is level 25 out of level 100. So there's a lot more that, obviously, that we've seen now from playing the game and such, that I can sort of go through and say, is it or isn't it worth playing? So what kind of genre is it first? It's a multiplayer online, and it's kind of growing into that multiplayer aspect. Diablo has never been a multiplayer, like mass multiplayer game. It's usually been a co-op game, kind of. But essentially they're moving slowly into the multiplayer aspect of they're going to do a looking for group potentially in the near future, as well as like stuff to do with the dungeons, the Mythic Plus kind of system that they have going in Diablo. They're going to be looking at a lot of that, and it is a role-playing game. I believe it is anyway. Yeah, I believe it's an RPG. The purpose of the game is essentially to gear up these characters. There is a story to it. There is lore behind the game. There is a lot of lore behind the game, actually. And essentially the idea is to gear up your character and, make them as powerful as you can make them through gear, grinding mobs, through Paragon talent systems almost. There's loads of different things, and the whole purpose is to just grind. It is a very grinding game. It's it's one of them sort of back in the day kind of games where you're just killing loads and loads of mobs. And hopefully you get some good loot, you can upgrade your character, and you just keep doing that. You kill mobs to get a piece of loot, upgrade your character, and then you kill harder mobs to get better loot and upgrade your character, so on and so forth. Is it easy to pick up? Yes, it starts off very slow. It does start off very slow, and then it gradually picks up towards the higher levels, and you're looking at like very intense fights towards the end when you're like max builds and stuff like that. But it is a very easy, and it eases you in to the game quite a lot and quite easily, which is really good. It's not like, okay, now you got to go kill 5 bosses immediately. It's like, okay, here's a couple mobs, here's a wolf. You're kind of put into the open, and it's like, go towards this objective. And it's like, oh, okay. And you go there, and you encounter like 1 or 2 easy mobs, and you just sort of click on them, kill them, normal sort of stuff. So I would say it's very easy to pick up, yes. The replayability of it. So far, it's really rough to replay the game. It's really not alt-friendly at all. The way that the game is set up is, at the moment anyway, very much you want to be focusing on one character. And the way that you go through alts is to obviously stockpile some legendaries. And these legendaries go into a bank that is shared between all of your characters. And there's only 4 tabs. Now, these tabs fill up very, very quickly. Not to mention, you have talent builds to do, you have Paragon points to get, and just the levels themselves take forever to do. They take so long. So, alting in Diablo 4 is very, very tough right now. You'd have to put so many, hours into the game to have an actually decent geared alt that's, somewhat on the par of your main character. A good example or this will give you a good idea. You have 100 levels until your max level. Level 50 is the halfway point, right? Wrong. Okay, level 60 is the halfway point, because the amount of XP needed to get 60 levels is surely the same as getting 40 levels. No, wrong. What about level 70? That's got to at least be the halfway point. No. Level 75? No. 80? Nope. 85. Level 85 is the halfway point between you and max level. The level 1 and level 100. That is the halfway point. And I've put days into the game. I'm trying to think. I would say a good few days into the game. And I don't slack on games, and I've really grinded the game quite a bit. I'm at level 82. I'm not halfway to level 100, and that's quite heartbreaking, because I feel like I've put so much into the game, and I'm not even halfway. It's kind of cool. People who like a grinding sort of game, fair enough. And they are looking to address this because they're looking to do these nightmare dungeons, as they're known, the mythic pluses. Essentially, they're going to increase the XP that you get in these when they're not increased at all. This is really good for obviously leveling up your character in endgame, because it's absolutely ridiculous that level 85 is the halfway point. So hopefully this is a very substantial increase in the XP that we can get, but we'll only have to wait and see for that. But yeah, replayability is not alt-friendly at the moment at all. Hopefully they can address this in the near future as well. And this will get addressed when you increase XP gains from Nightmare Dungeons, from a new world tier, because it will just passively increase the XP that you get. So alts can be a lot more user-friendly later on in Diablo games, from what I know anyway. Is it fun? It is very fun. It's a very fun game. You have multiple builds that you can play around with. You have multiple classes: Druid, Sorcerer, Necromancer, Barbarian, Rogue. All of them very unique. All of them offer a lot of differences and, different ways to play the game. But ultimately, if you enjoy killing loads of mobs, yeah, this is a good fun game for you, because you can just clear packs upon packs of like NPCs in one shot, and it is amazing. It's such a great feeling. In terms of a rating, at the moment, the only problem I have with it is I'm a very alt-friendly person when it comes to games, such as World of Warcraft or any game in that manner. So I can't give it above an 8. I'd have to give it a 7.5. It is a very fun game, but where games get really grindy for me, when you're constantly playing the same class, that's where I tend to turn to alts. But I can't do that because it's very much not alt-friendly at the moment, the game, and hopefully in the near future that will pick up and become a lot easier. But I can't give it above an 8 because I just can't imagine people like grinding this much and then, not having an alt to play to sort of counteract the grind that is your main character kind of deal. So 7.5, but definitely can go up to a 9, even 9.5 if it's a bit more alt friendly, if the balances or the balance changes go through, the XP gains go through, all of that stuff. But that is it for this episode. Thank you all very much for listening. Do check out the socials down below, Twitch, YouTube, constant stuff happening over there, as well as support the show via Buzzsprout. The link will be down below. It will be much appreciated. But thank you all very much for listening, and go with valor, friend.